We test the audio out. You're on the video side on Facebook and Instagram Live and my own YouTube channel. A little cup of coffee as well. And we'll check the audio out in just a second to make sure we're still rolling right along on this, gosh, April 15th. Is that possible? Is it possible it's April 15th? It's flying along, man. It's flying along. I'm going to get in here. Jason hears me loud and clear. There, turn it down there. Jason hears me loud and clear. We can move the coming up next away. We can actually move this graphic down as well. And everybody's here. Starting to get in. Well, that means it's roll the open in 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
Well, it's baseball time in Siouxland once again. The Explorers are out to bring home another win. And when they take the field, they'll be hitting and running and stealing. So come out to the park for that big league good time feeling. Well, it's baseball Sioux City style. Baseball Sioux City style. Gonna conquer the league. Hold on to your seat. The Explorers just won't be beat.
Oh, yeah. As I practice my singing for the post-game concert in July or June, actually, right? July. Anyway, baseball Sioux City style was the old saying that you should be seen and not heard. I think that was my dad and my grandfather's statement as well at one time, and I think that's definitely the case with me. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Wednesday edition, April 15th edition of Explorers Expresso. As I don't get all tangled up, I got cords everywhere. It's sort of like, oh, they're everywhere. Ron, good to see you. How you doing? Getting close, almost baseball time in Siouxland. Sneedo, hope everybody got their taxes filed. Amen to that. John, hey, how you doing, mate? Everybody hears us loud and clear. We're glad you're along. Let's check the audio one more time. There we go. Okay. Robbie, he's on time today. Everybody seems to be good, right? Think so. All right, get that brought down there. What is on the show? Well, you guys, somebody already even mentioned there that we've got actually got two guests today, but going to start things off in a few minutes. All about, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 minutes. Going to talk some tickets. Emma DeStichter's going to be with us. Looking forward to chatting with her as we do every year. Get you guys caught up with her and what she's got going on. Of course, individual tickets go on sale on Friday. Also today, which leads us to our question of the day. Well, eventually to the question of the day. First off, the other headlines of the day. It's Jackie Robinson Day, April 15th. Every team in the big leagues will wear number 42 today. A really cool deal. We'll talk a little bit about that in the back end. Just a little mention there, but I do want to bring that up because it is a big deal, and as one who has done so much research over the years about that whole storyline, and a storyline I didn't know a lot about. We'll talk a little bit about that at the tail end, but just your thoughts on that. Good to see Robbie out there. 42, as Sneedo says. 42, absolutely. Robbie says, one more month and my mood will depend on baseball. Well, there's that. I think you and I are both in the same boat there. Funny how that works. Question of the day. All right, we're a month out. We are 1 month out. There was a post yesterday and a day. A couple teams, I think King County did one, League did one. They posted out 1 month in advance. With 1 month out, what is on your wish list? And I'm not talking promotions here. I'm talking what is on your wish list as far as roster makeup. Where are we at? Where are you at? We'll break down the roster in a few minutes. I'm going to get to that because I'm going to get Emma on here in just a moment. As she's standing by in the virtual green room, I'll get her on in just a moment. But at the moment, we do have 22 players. LJ Waco, we'll talk about him. He signed yesterday. We'll get to the roster on the back end of Emma's conversation. Coming up a little bit later on, I'll be joined by a guy you're going to get to know a lot this year. Andrew Delapiana will be joining us from somewhere back east as he'll be making his way back west eventually to Sioux City, and he'll be joining us as our media relations assistant. He'll join us in the back end. We'll also talk the update. I also want your questions and comments. All that coming your way on a loaded Explorers Expresso. And again, 1 month out, what is on your wish list? Before I bring Emma on, I would tell you, at least right now. Now, I have the fortune of knowing a little bit about what's probably coming. So, with that being said, I'm going to echo what Bobby Post said a couple of weeks ago. I'd like a 3-4 starter, perhaps, and I'd love a dedicated guy to really shut things down the back end of the bullpen. That's sort of where I'm coming from. So, I'm going to adjust the camera just a bit here for you folks on video. And with that, a couple minutes early, and I love it. Let's go ahead and jump right in and bring her on. We're going to talk tickets and all that implies. As I believe, there we go. Emma Distichter is with us here. How are you doing there, young lady?
I'm doing good. How are you, Dan? It's
I'm
good to
doing good.
see ya.
You too. Good. You too. Before we jump into tickets, I do like to do this where we get to know because we have new fans who come in and we got a chance to talk to Emily last week and get a chance. They get to see your face and talk a little bit about what's going on with you. We're going to talk tickets as well. But first off, my question to you: how was your off season?
Good. It's been these past couple months have been really busy. Emily and I, since it's just two of us now, we've been really working closely together. And Emily and I always work well together and everything. But it's been a change since I am now the new tickets gal, all the tickets. But it's been a lot of fun. I'm just learning as much as I can about the ticket system and where every season ticket holder sits. But it's been a lot of fun and just a lot of fun ideas being thrown around.
As I called Emily, promotions and sales guru, your tickets guru.
Mhm.
Your guru.
Y
You guys are busy little bees there. I know.
Mhm.
So I've been busy. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
Came in last year, and Sam moved on, kind of jumped in and learned the ropes a little bit. But before we get in too much, what has that change been like for you? Jumping full time into the tickets. Obviously, you're still selling and doing the help with the promotion, but ideas that we all do. But how's that adjustment been for you?
It's been going really smoothly. I actually do keep in contact with Sam. She's been great. She's been like, if I have any questions about things, she gets right back to me. She would let me help with season tickets a little bit, but since that was mainly her thing, she was working on that. But letting me work beside her really helped me and prepared me for this. And I think everything's going along smoothly and I'll just keep it rolling with all these tickets. It's been printing for the last 2 weeks now, so yeah.
In case you folks know what she's talking about, I'll pull the curtain back a little bit. If you walked in the front office, let's say on a given Tuesday in whatever, May, April, whatever, you'll hear a little steady kind of thing going in the background. It's
Mhm.
not the ticker tape, it's the ticket printing. You got to print some ticket. We
Yeah.
got a lot of ink we go through, huh?
Yeah, it's been I always say I feel bad, but Mongo says, "Hey, it makes it sound like a front office, a baseball front office with the constant noise of the printer, but it's also a feeling, season's coming up, which I'm super excited about too."
Absolutely. Another year for you. Year number two for you. Uh,
Mhm.
Comfortable. I mean, anytime you start anything new, I know Travis is probably going through it now. He and I've talked about that. His hair is on fire, and he's trying to, these things keep coming at you. Year two for you, is it slowed down a little bit for you as far as the things coming at you?
Um, we have new stuff coming, so it's about the same, which that's what I said. I think last year was the best part about working in minor league baseball is just you get to wear multiple hats. And me and Emily have gotten to wear more hats now that it's just us two and Travis. But it's been a lot of this last season was so much fun and I really enjoyed it. And I'm just excited for year two.
I asked you this last year. I forget the tickets. I asked you this last year. I think it's really cool, and for and Emily as well. You're from the area. I mean, this is not like you packed your bags and went to Seattle or another country. Went up to school, come back, and you worked a little bit down in Des Moines, but you get to come back to an area you're passionate about and work for the hometown quote unquote team. It's got to be a thrill. I mean, that's got to really be a thrill. Elaborate on that. Am I off base there?
I love it. I mean, it's also great because I had a few of my family members, and like my boyfriend's family, just like a lot, my whole family, a group of 20 on the 4th of July came out and they watched the fireworks and I got to sit by them. But it's been great. Like, also, like, little, like, what is it, youth teams coming around that I know, like the coaches. And it's really fun to like take work and just kind of mesh it together and get people I know out to the ballpark. So,
I'm so happy for you guys. It's really cool.
mhm.
I think it's a great thing that we have those local connections. We're not all carpetbaggers like me, just coming in from somewhere else, and Mongo and Bobby, I guess, to a lesser degree. But we appreciate it. All right, let's talk tickets with Emma here on this Wednesday edition. I mean, we're like a month away from opening night in Chicago.
Yeah.
Wow, it's here. It's here. Uh,
Hmm.
what do we got going on Friday? Fill us in on Friday, because Friday we've had tickets on sale, season tickets and whatnot. But what is coming up on Friday? It's the big deal on Friday.
Yeah, but first I wanted to say, if you're watching, all season tickets, all Silver Sluggers are printed, so anyone that bought any of those can swing by the office and pick those up. But Friday, you can reach us. Like, our office is open 9 to 5. Like Monday through Friday, until the season starts. The schedule will change, and we'll let you know on that. But you can come up to the window. You can give the office a call, or you can shoot me an email. My email's on the website as well. And you can purchase tickets online. So anyway, starting around 9 o'clock on Friday, go ahead and get those single game tickets.
To me, it's like the final. I mean, obviously, the schedule comes out usually November, October. That's item one. We have Christmas. We have some Christmas specials that we may be running, and then we have some. We start adding little, and then finally the final players start signing. Kind of the final straw is okay. Tickets go on sale this day. I mean, it's full speed ahead now. The off season's done, right? The off season's done. Correct? Am I right about that?
I would say so, because we're trying to get people to come out to the ballpark, and we do have everything set in stone promotion wise. So I'm so ready. I don't know about you, Dan, but I am ready.
Absolutely. I was, I, no, it was funny because it's a daily thing. And I was talking to Mongo last night, and, there's always a text, there's a group text of the staff, of the field staff, and I'm on that. And then I sent a survey out to our players yesterday that I'm getting those back now from guys about little things. And it's here. It's no longer in the rearview mirror. We're no longer looking ahead. We are here. So that's exciting.
Hmm.
In the ticket vein of things, Emma, what have you got? Anything new that the fans should know about, any procedures or anything that you want to share besides what I'm gonna ask you a couple other things to say, but just in general, any updates there?
Yeah, so this year we're gonna try something new. We are going to be able to put our group sales and our suites actually online, where you don't have to call me or anybody in the office. You can purchase those groups yourself, and then we can get those tickets printed for will call for you and everything. Like, you pick them up here. But yeah, that's I'd say that's one of our new things this year, is you can be able to buy suites or groups by yourself instead of having to call and then email back and forth. You can just go right onto our website, click group, get the group rate of how many people you'd like, and you can go from there.
Convenience. I mean, it's like a lot
Mhm.
of things we're doing. We're trying to make things a little more convenient. That's great because you can
Mhm.
kind of, I mean, not that we don't want the middle person there, but a fan goes, you know what? Because we'll be talking about in the air, hey, the sweet life, the good life, group nights, and all of a sudden they're like, well, how do I do that? If they can go to the website, it makes it a lot easier. That's a really great development.
Yeah.
What was that the thinking? Just to make it easier for our faithful.
Yeah, that was the thinking, and we've had the ticket system for a while now. We wanted to, like, spent a lot of the off season like in different meetings and stuff, just learning how to make it more convenient for our fans. And yeah, when Tom was here, and now I'm talking with Travis, one of our ideas, like I said, was putting the groups and suites just so it can be more convenient. If you want to last minute book a suite, like the day before, you can do that, and we'll have the tickets printed and ready to go for you instead of having to do that long process. So if you just want to do a quick and easy suite, you can.
Let's stick to our guest here, talking tickets. She is our director of tickets and does a phenomenal job in year number 2 with us. So glad she's along. Um, I love what we've done with the Pilot Rock Party Deck. I think that's so cool. I know that Emily, I mean, rather last week brought up the grill that we're going to be doing, which I think is really cool. Uh, that's really become a huge feature for us down there. I There's a lot of options. We can really do a lot of things of that for fans. Large groups, small groups. It's a really cool thing. From your seat, what's your selling point there?
Yeah, I just think, like, also, like, you get to eat as much food for that an hour and a half because usually you get to let us know when you want the food to start. You get to eat for an hour and a half, as much food as you want. You can have, like, waters and sodas for that hour and a half, and I feel like it's just a great view out there. It's just you and the close people that you're by, and I think that's what makes it more fun. And we did also add on this year, if your group is interested, for an extra $10, you can even get like a hat with your group. Like you get matching hats. So I think it's like one of our popular group things that we have out there.
I love it. I love being down there. I love doing when we do
Mhm.
things down there. I mean, if I had my way, I'd just set a broadcast booth down there and just maybe a adult beverage or something sit next to me because it's a great view down there. But I love it.
Mhm.
Love it what you guys have done. I and there's information obviously on our website as well. But groups are big, large to small. You don't have to be the Pilot Rock Party Deck. It could be just a group of folks. What's the group ticket situation? How can fans go about that? Obviously on the website, but
Yeah.
maybe some talk about that selling point wise.
Yeah, so the fun in groups is you get, say you have a group of 20 or more of you that want to head to a ball game, you actually get a discounted price with that. So you can either choose box seats or reserve seats. We did change our pricing a little bit on that on our website. But then you can just let us know what section you'd like. We put you in like kind of like a cluster. So it doesn't have to be one row where you're talking over each other. We can do like a group of like a row of four so you can be able to turn around, talk to your buddies. But I think that's the fun part of groups is like, yeah, going to a ball game with a few people, but just getting a full group together to scream and cheer for the X's. I feel like that's just one of the best parts.
I love it. I love it. Oh, I've told this on the air a few times on the broadcast. I got a fraternity brother of mine who actually met his wife. They've been married, gosh, 7 years now. They met
Mhm.
on a group. They were in a group. Each was in a group at the Texas Ranger game, and they happened to be sitting, of all things, like one row apart from each other. And they
That's
started chatting.
cool.
They started chatting. But if they had not bought group tickets from the Rangers, they would never got married, had two kids, and the rest is history. So maybe I'm just saying, maybe it's a new promotion. You might get
Yeah,
married. I don't know.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's pretty cool actually. Was it the old or new
Was that
Rangers?
the number two Globe? Well, would be the ballpark in Arlington, the one before the Globe Life, which is now the
Yeah.
Dome. So it'd have been the one they replaced
Mhm.
8 years, well, that one, 6 years ago,
Mhm.
2020, I guess they replaced it. So yeah, but that was
Mhm.
he met her and they both had group. They were in a groups. There was groups of friends and brought like 20 tickets each, and they all went together. And they weren't in the same group. They were just different groups. They were in the group section, and boom, the rest is history. So
See, that's why baseball's the best. Like,
it's
come
the best.
on.
And I always tell Curtis too. I say, Curtis and Melanie. I always tell them that it's the most romantic game. You guys got married, and the best thing about it is, and I won't go bore the folks with this, but their two boys wound up playing high school baseball. One's a senior here down here playing, so it can happen. It can
Yeah,
happen to you. I'm just saying.
that's what I'm saying. That's cool.
I'm just stick there with us here talking tickets on this April 15th edition. Okay, let's jump into a little promotions. Now you mentioned promotions for you. Now, because Emily brought up the one she was fired up about. I think we're all fired up about every. We all have our favorite. Do you have a favorite that you're like, man, I can't wait for this night. I am fired up about this night right now.
I think I'm excited for our 2 concert nights. Those are like bringing those back because I was told back in the day we used to host like concerts here. I'm really excited for the concert nights. I feel like those will just be a lot of fun and more time for fans to interact. Another one I'm excited for that we brought on was the pickleball night. I feel like that like pickleball. I'm not like in the small town. I'm from Mobile, Kingsley. I feel like I always see like even like high school players, like little kids after the baseball game or softball game go to the park and play pickleball. It's gotten so popular around here. So I think that one will be like exciting. Everyone gets the pickleball paddle and we'll have a court set up for people to play. So I feel like those ones are my big ones I'm excited for this year. Yeah.
Yeah,
And the
pickleball's good.
fireworks, of course. But
Fireworks, of course. Family will be out there for that. Pickleball's great. My
mhm.
wife and I went to a movie for the first time in forever the other night, and there's like next to the theater was this pickleball like pub. They're all over the place now. These pickleball in the DFW. There are these pickleball, I don't know, bar and event centers. It's like
Mhm.
pickleball centric, I guess. So people are into it. So hey, I love it. Concerts
Yeah.
are cool. I think that's great. And what I love about the concert, and I ran this by Emily too, and I think she agreed. It gives our fans, you know, game's over, final out, yeah, the X's win, and high five, and we hit the bricks, we go. But I love the fact that on the weekends, and a lot of folks are kind of kicking on the weekends. There's no hurry to get out of there. Let's go have some fellowship together and enjoy the X's together. And I love that whole feeling of just kind of lingering around and celebrating the baseball family.
Oh yeah, and that's why I said like other fans can mingle, or maybe you can get to know us a little bit and just like all enjoying some. We just enjoyed some good baseball. Now let's just like have a fun night together and get to know each other and just soak in the summer and the baseball season.
Absolutely. By the way, see, Casey says can't wait for the season. Chris Nito says he's got a question here. He says, "Is there any idea of using that space as an all-you-can-eat space when it's not booked up for a group?" Oh, you're talking about he's talking about the Pilot Rock party deck area. We do sort of have that all-you-can-eat option. Is that a group night only thing? Is that what that is?
Yes, so our party deck is like all you can eat. Like you have to let us know, and that's when we can book you for that party deck. But if he was asking, like if we do not have a party deck on there, you can feel free to sit out there if you'd like. Just we ask that if there is a deck out there, usually there's a chalkboard that says the group name. We ask that you don't go out there because you wouldn't like it if someone came and
Oh,
sat with your group that you don't know. So we just ask that if there's a party deck out there, don't go out there. But if there is no party deck, feel free to sit out there if you'd
okay.
like and hit up the
Oh,
brews and cues.
yeah, yeah. Well, some lug like me just walks up and just plops down your group. You're like, "Who's this guy? You're not one of our.
Hmm.
Hey, where's the hookup, man? I don't want to be that.
I know.
I don't want to be
Yeah.
that guy." So yeah, yes, a very good question there. And Ron says, hopefully they'll feel to be better. I'm gonna get that. Actually, I've got a little field update for the back end of the show, but yeah, when they had concerts before, we're not doing the concerts in the field, so that's gonna be they're down. They're gonna be down the down the deck, right? Is that where we're gonna do the concerts? I assume. I have no idea.
Yeah. Our plan is to do it out on the deck. So I believe like the top tier or the second tier is where the stage will be,
Right,
and then
right.
everyone else will stand and like on the deck. Nobody on the field, just on the deck. That's where you'll watch the concert.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, there we go. We answered that question. Appreciate you, Ron. Good to see you out there. Chris Nito says if Dan walks up to my group outing, I know the beer is going to be missing. No, I can't. You know what? That, that that used to be the case, Nito, but because I have to cut back on the beers, it'll be have to be if there's rum or carb. If there was carbless there, look out.
Oh
Especially
yeah.
pineapple carb. Especially pineapple carb. By the way, do you have a favorite carbless flavor? By the way.
I told Emily and Mongo this. I am more of a beer gal myself, but I have had a few carbless, and I'm with Emily. Pineapple is the best carbless.
Yes, I'm with you there. Pineapple is delicious, no doubt about it.
Mm-hmm.
And but stick there with us here on Explorers Expresso, April 15th. We're a month away here on this tax day. All right, couple of fun stuff. The fun stuff toward the end here. We talked a little bit about this last year, but you're a Mets fan. You're a Mets gal, Mets fan. Um, how in the world does a young lady from Iowa wind up becoming a fan of a team in New York, especially one not named the Yankees? What's up there's got to be a good story there.
Being a Yankees fan is the easy way out. You didn't hear it from me, but tell that to my boyfriend Bo. He's a Yankees fan. We got a house divided for us, but I became a Mets fan because my dad back in the day was a big Gary Carter fan.
Okay.
And Gary Carter was on the Expos for a little bit. My dad's like, I don't know about the Expos. And then Gary Carter actually went to the Mets. And then that year, the Mets won the World Series. And then ever since then, it's been definitely a journey for sure. Not an easy one, but I'm loyal through and through. Go Mets.
Hey, Chris Stito says you're amazing on that take. I guess you're talking about I'm not sure which take he's talking about, but
I think he's doing the take on it's the easy way out to be a Yankees
yeah,
fan
yeah,
because
yeah,
it
yeah. Okay,
is.
it is. And see, I get it. I mean, I sort of get it. I understand. And it's funny because
Hmm.
I'm doing research right now for the season for 1950 because we were talking
Hmm.
1894 last year. We're going to be looking at the 1950 Sioux City Sioux season, and they were a time when the New York Giants played in New York before they went to San Francisco. So,
Hmm.
and at that time, this is I was wait, that's pre Mets. And at one time, you had the Dodgers, the Giants,
Yeah.
the Yankees all there. It was the baseball capital of the country, and it's not uncommon for a lot of folks to be New York fans in baseball, especially back then. But the Mets were the ones that came on latest, and I think it's cool that you have a passion. It's a passion. You guys have made trips there, right? You've done family trips there.
Oh, oh yeah. Like we've been to city so many times. My dad is the only one that's gotten the chance to go to Shea, but of my whole family, we've gone to city like a ton. We love it there, but yeah, we
Well,
love it.
Bruce Fishback, our trainer, says Yankees all the way. John Witt says go Sox. I'm not sure what that means. I assume you mean the White Sox, sir. Is that it?
Maybe red or
Yeah,
white
it got to
socks.
be.
I'm not
But
sure.
he's from that Illinois. It's got to be. I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know. It's just I love that. I love that. But I love the take though. It is the easy way out, and you're not doing the easy way out thing. You're
I
doing it.
know.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, but that's what I say to every Yankees fan. I don't mean it, but it gets under their skin a little bit.
Hey, it's all good. Gosh, let's see here. I had a couple things. I was looking at the things to get to as well. I'm actually I just realized that I had left out a small portion of our show, and I was just downloading I said field, and I've got a really good picture of the field. There's some really good field work going on. You probably poked your head out and seen that, huh? Look pretty good out
Hmm.
there.
Yeah, we've helped a little, not too much, because Emily's gonna be so mad at me, but she got eaten by the blanket when we were taking it off. So we like to help on the field. Like we like to get our hands dirty, but we've been doing most of like prepping for the season. But yeah, the
Sure.
grass looks great, which is awesome. It's turning green with all our rain, but yeah, it's been going along.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks good out there. Here at Explorers Expresso, Dan Farmer, the Impetus Dictator, with us talking tickets and talking just items of note here when we get in the back end of this conversation. All right, downtime. You're not at the ballpark. What are you doing?
I am most of the time I try and see my family as much as possible. And then Bo and I, that's my boyfriend, we like to watch a lot of shows and we lift together, take walks and just hang out with just like some what's the word? Just kind of relax a little bit cuz the season's coming up, but yeah, those are kind of things you find me doing. Reading. I like to read as well.
Now,
So,
does Bo obviously knows that you've got a different job than most? I mean, you're busy. Busy. You've got a lot going on. How do you balance that time?
we're very good at communicating. So, and he's a huge baseball fan himself. So he understands, like, even in Des Moines, I was really busy and I wouldn't see him like for a week's at time. But as long as you communicate, as long as never take, like, we never take each other for granted and we always spend as much time as possible together and just communication. And we're really good about it. And he loves me regardless. So,
There you go. See, I mean, everybody needs a good balancing act right there. I've got one.
yeah.
My wife, and as Chris said, now you're probably too young to know this, but Chris Nito says Bo knows because it's. You remember
Hey,
that
that's
advertisement?
yeah.
Remember that? Yeah.
He used to have a shirt when he was a kid that said Bono, so we know.
Oh man, yeah, that was back in my youthful
Mhm.
days when I was probably just still in college there.
Mhm.
Let's see here. Part of the job for you. And it maybe changing as you have more face-to-face time with folks. But what's your favorite part of the job? Maybe in the season as opposed to the off season.
I would say my favorite part is probably interacting with like getting to know the fans, especially because we're such like a tight, I feel like community. Like our league isn't as big as like a major league. I feel like just getting to know our fans and our season ticket holders is probably my favorite part. Just making those connections and then watching the team succeed, of course, and getting close with my staff. Also, like getting to know the interns every year is just a lot of fun. So just like connecting with people as a whole, I'd say is probably my favorite part.
Got a good crew coming, do we?
I think so. We do have a few returners, and then my brother will be on the game day staff this year, which will be a lot of fun. But
Uh,
yeah, I think we got a great crew this year. I'm excited to meet the new ones and see the returners. So,
Jason says she love the beer leaders. Do you know who those guys are? You do know who
oh, of
they're like.
course, I know the beer leaders. I love talking to those guys too. They're
They're,
always good to me.
they're great. All right, did your brother want to work with Sis, or is he thinking maybe I might want to work for a guy like Mr. Vaughn or something like that? I'm just saying. Does he want to work with his sister? I don't know.
Me and Will get along very well. Honestly, all of my siblings, we do, and we worked together in high school at the school, like as like janitorial assistants. So this isn't our first time working together, but we know how to like also like jokey jokey, but we know how to get the job done. I think Will's excited.
Mason, as you know well, he asked, "Who's your favorite former intern?" I think this is sort of a softball question, but I think he's looking for some love.
I'm gonna say Nicole. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Mason, I hope everything's going well for him in
Uh,
Kansas.
Down at Kansas State.
Hmm.
This is an interesting story. I'll share with you before I let you go. But for everybody out there, my sister, oh gosh, she's 11 years younger than me, and she was at Purdue back in the
Hmm.
late 90s. I was working in Burlington, Iowa, and across the Midwest League. She actually interned for me one summer. And what was great about it is that she actually her major was marketing and Spanish, so she was bilingual, which was great with the prospects we had from that were from Latin America, Caribbean, whatever. That was cool. But she was really she was a cheerleader in high school, so she had the whole acrobatic thing, which was a
Hmm.
perfect segue to be the mascot certain nights. And we needed a
That's
mascot
cool.
with some energy. And she still talks about it. And she tells her kids, who are now 12 and like 8, that, yeah,
Hmm.
your mom used to be a mascot at a baseball game. So
That's cool thing to say.
and she survived the summer working for me. Now she didn't work in baseball. She's a nurse. So what I'm trying to tell you is your brother may
Hmm.
decide, hey, I want to be in this business, or absolutely not. I'm going to be a
Yeah.
doctor. Who knows?
Well, yeah, he's as big as the baseball fan as like my whole family. Like we're huge. He's also a Mets fan, but we're all big baseball people. And he plays baseball in college at Wartburg. So I think this is his for like a great way to get a foot in the door because he wants to
Absolutely.
work in sports too. But yeah, I'm excited for him. I'm excited to spend some time with him this summer because last summer he was playing baseball in New York with like a summer league. So he was like with a host family and everything. So this will be a fun summer, I think.
Well, I'm looking forward to meeting him, and I'm so happy for you guys.
Mhm.
And I appreciate you and your time. I enjoyed having Emily on last week. I know you guys are working hard and taking out the busy time. Look forward to seeing you guys in a few weeks. One more time, tickets are available on, but
April 17th.
Friday, Friday.
Yay!
Yes, and they can come by and see your smiling face, or go online, or make a
Yes.
phone call. 3 ways you can't lose, right?
Mm-mm. We will get you all set and ready to go because we have a countdown. Opening day is 37 days away.
37 days and 30 days away from opening night there in Chicago. Emma,
Mhm.
appreciate your time. Look forward to seeing you in a couple weeks. And sell, kiddo.
We'll do safe travels getting here, and I'm excited to see you here soon. Thanks,
You,
Dan.
you bet. There she goes. Emma DeStickner there with us there. See you, kiddo. There she goes doing
We'll
great work
see
there.
ya.
See ya. Go X's right there. She is really, I love the enthusiasm. And again, it's so cool to, again, I love the fact that she and Emily, Travis is from up the road, Travis up the road there in South Dakota, but from the area they're natives, and I think it's not lost on me that how what a blessing that is, and what an advantage it is for our organization to have folks that, I mean, because I worked in Burlington, I had those local folks that were there were a huge part of things because I show up, I didn't know squat about the area. I'm like, and they do, right? And I know, for example, in Northwest Indiana, where the Gary South Shore Railcats are, Renee Conley has worked for them through, I believe, the last two owners. She's from the area. She grew up in Northwest Indiana. She's worked for the Railcats, I believe, for 20 some odd years. And even though the GMs have, we had some GMs leave and come, and Anthony's there now, but Brian Latter before and Pete Lavin, they've all gone on and to other organizations. She's still consistent there because she's from the area. She has those relationships. That's a very big thing as far as forging what you're trying to do at the gate, in the stands, and just building those relationships, knowing you've got folks from the area that, what, I may know you or I may know your family. That's a really big deal. In a market our size, that's a real advantage. And I'm really happy for those kiddos there, Emma and Emily, and appreciate Emma joining us there on Explorers Expresso. Okay, transaction time. We got a couple minutes here to get to. So let's get to those real quickly here. I'm a little out of order here, but this happened over the course of the last 24 hours. LJ Waco. Now, if you want to talk about a name that sounds like a baseball name, LJ Waco. I love that name. It's like from Hollywood Casting. He's a right-hander. He's from Wisconsin, Oshkosh. Say that three times fast. Wisconsin, Oshkosh, Wisconsin, Oshkosh, Wisconsin, Oshkosh. He is from Cary, Illinois. I knew I was going to screw that up. Cary, Illinois. Right-hander. Interesting story here. He's a guy that had Tommy John after the 23 season during college. Came back in 24, had a really good year. His final year in college, 4-year college kid, played one part of one summer, a couple of games in the Northwoods League. But it's a guy that I believe, from what I understand, comes highly recommended. Much like sort of the storyline of a Ryan Beard or Ben DeTay, guys that were sort of, again, where the draft may have been, 10 years ago, probably gets drafted, but a guy that's a little under the radar because their draft is small, is shorter now. It's just there are fewer rounds. So a young man will come in and get a chance to earn a job there. I was a starter his last 2 years in college, was a reliever his first 2 years, put up solid numbers, an ERA right around 3. You can go on our website and check that out. And he's the update there, the bios there as well. You can check out his numbers. But L.J. Waco from Cary, Illinois. We don't talk about the Northwoods League here. Chris says you're right on about that, but just for business sake, that's where he was. But look, welcome him to the fold as well. L.J. Waco, right-hander, coming to the X's, and that's the latest update roster-wise. Now, where does that put the roster currently? Well, currently 22 players signed, 7 infielders, 3 outfielders, a couple of catchers, 10 arms, 8 right, 2 lefties. Now, right now where we sit, as Andrew's standing by, we'll get him to us in just a moment. Uh, but where we stand at the moment, uh, there's a couple things in play here. First off, expect more to come. There are going to be more folks coming. That's not going to be 22. You're going to have 28 in camp. There's going to be some interesting battles. And I think a lot of it depends on how the visa situation works out for the X's, okay? Because you've got a situation where you've got the visa situation that comes up every year. We talk about it every year. Mongo talks about it every year. We go to Canada. It's an issue there. The visa issue and getting those visas already or a challenge for every team in our league. And that's why when the season starts, you're going to have a couple of names perhaps on what they call the visa reserve list because those visas are still coming. In a perfect world, they all get approved like that. It's a different environment now. And it takes, and it's red tape. It's government red tape. If you're ever in the DMV, you know this, right? You've ever had to change anything official with the government, it takes some time, right? It doesn't just happen right away. So that's in place. So depending on what happens with the visa situation, that could change how the roster makeup and what competition goes into spring training because you're going to have a 10-day window, basically 14-day window, really, because we open up, we have their port date the 1st. They start their workouts on the 3rd. But the battles at the moment, the infield looks like a real challenge because there's 7 infielders. Outfield only 3, but I do believe there'll be 2 more outfielders in the mix. And what of those infield positions can play the outfield, right? Those swing guys. You've got that in the mix. right now, pitching wise, seems good, but you're going to have some more arms as well. You're looking for a closer, perhaps. They're looking for some starting help. So you're going to have some battles there. And let's just say, for example, one of your players on the visa list that doesn't get a visa yet, right? Maybe he gets his visa June 1st instead of May 1st. One of those spots might be, let's just say, for example, it's a pitcher and you've got an extra. So now you've got it could change the dynamics of the competition, right? So all depending on what that looks like, that's where we're at. So again, my knee jerks are expect more coming. Visa situation always a factor, and the competition at the moment looks pretty straightforward. But I believe when it's all said and done, you're gonna have really three really big competitions: pitching, infield, and outfield, and they're going to be really important. Every at bat, every inning, it's going to be big in spring training. Explorers Expresso here. Dan Vaughn with you. As I mentioned, we had another guest coming up in a moment. I'm going to bring him aboard as I'll actually play the little interview segue here. Let's do that. Here we go. I should have played this earlier, and I didn't do it, but there we do. But I mentioned earlier in the open that we did have another guest joining us, and he's on our screen right now. Andrew Della Piana joining us from back in the great state of Massachusetts. Andrew is our new media assistant. I'm so excited to have him. He'll be joining us like the second week of May after he graduates from Syracuse. I'm fired up, man. Welcome to the Susan Explorer family. I know you're fired up. I think as fired up as I've seen a guy that's been added to our family in a while. Welcome. I know you're fired up. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dan. This is an awesome opportunity, fresh out of college, graduating, as you said, next month, and just can't wait to get started with you in Sioux City.
Looking forward to it, my friend. Andrew was, and this year was a great group of candidates, and I'm so fired up we got him. He's coming from Syracuse. I don't know how many folks know this, but he and I know this because we're in this media business. Syracuse is sort of like one of the premier programs there the country. You know, Arizona State's one. Missouri's got a really good journalism program, but Syracuse has pumped out talent after talent after talent. You're coming from Syracuse. Tell us about that college experience. It was probably competitive and probably a lot of fun too.
It certainly was. Whether, a guy like myself was coming in with broadcasting experience as a freshman or, you'd never pick up a microphone in your life. The best thing about Syracuse is everyone starts from the same level, whether that's at Citrus TV, our student television station, or our radio stations, WAER and Z9. Everyone starts at ground zero, so you are working your way up to try to be at that highest level of the totem pole, if you will. And you mentioned that competition; it's absolutely there. But I think the best part of it is, yes, you are going against these guys and girls that are as talented, if not better than you. Most of them are better than you at some point. But that competitiveness only makes you work a little bit harder. So that way, it doesn't feel like you're always fighting for reps. You're rooting for that person next to you. And at the end of the day, we all just want to get better.
Some background. Mentioned Massachusetts. Give us the quick background for the fans. Where are you from? That kind of deal. The basics, right? Tell me about yourself, sir.
Yep, you got it. About 30 minutes north of Boston in Tewksbury, town of about 20,000 people. Went to the high school there. And that's really where my broadcasting started. I went to a high school football game back when I was in 8th grade and heard someone doing the PA announcements and jumped right on and helped out with that. Then went to a basketball game later in that 8th grade year and also started doing PA and then a little bit more play-by-play as high school went on. But there's so much pride in my town. I played hockey, golf, baseball there all throughout high school. And the community there is awesome. Diehard Bruins, Celtics, Red Sox, and Celtics fans excited for a nice little postseason run going on right now between the Celtics and the Bruins. But Boston through and through.
No doubt. I was going to ask you that. I figured you would answer that, but you're a Boston, Boston guy. The teams you follow. Is there anybody a team outside of Boston you follow? I mean, obviously Syracuse, but is there anybody else out there? You're just like for me, for example, I'll use me. I'm not a Dallas Maverick fan. I'm a San Antonio Spurs fan through and through. Have been forever. Is there anybody out? Are you all Boston fandom for your sports follows?
Yeah, I guess the only one I branch out a little bit to is UMass Lowell, and that's not really too far outside of Boston. But it's funny you bring that up. Like growing up, I used to have like these favorite athletes of teams all around these leagues. I used to have like a Steven Stamkos shirt and a Connor McDavid and an Austin Matthews. But once you get into middle school and you're like, all right, I finally should probably stick with my team since I'm going to feels like almost every single home game that I'm home for. So once you find that connection with the team, it makes a little bit more sense.
Andrew Della Piana is our guest here on the back end of Explorers Expresso. He'll be our new media relations assistant. You'll hear him on the broadcast with me on abaseball.tv and KSCJ there in Siouxland, as well as our on our road games. He'll be in the studio doing what the last two young men, Austin Thomas and John Colavito, have both done, and be battering back and forth with that. He brings a really talented resume. And what really struck me in the process when we were chatting, and I went back, and I very rarely do this, but I went back and watched all your stuff. And I mean, this is not a guy that's a one-trick pony. You've done a little everything. We're talking about, field hockey. We've done lacrosse. We've done hockey. I mean, is there anything you've not done?
Volleyball, really. That's the only one I haven't done here at Syracuse that I'm like, I really want to dive into that. But the funny thing about you mentioning lacrosse and field hockey, I was never really a lacrosse guy going into college, but it's funny, Syracuse, they got the 11 natty, so you feel like you have to be good at that, to be honest, even because you call lacrosse on the radio, and that's a whole other different animal to do. But it's funny, when I got one of my first games at UMass Lowell in high school, and they asked me, can you do lacrosse? I was kind of nervous, like, I have no idea how this sport works at all. So for the whole week before that game, I watched possibly every single lacrosse video on YouTube to prepare for that. And then when I got my first assignment for field hockey here at Syracuse, I did the exact same thing, where for a week, every single video on my YouTube field was explaining the basic field hockey, having conversations with a bunch of my friends who had done the sport before. But I love learning the intricacies of stuff like that and diving deeper into just the baseline stuff. So anything you throw in front of my plate, even if it's water polo, I'll call that to the best of my abilities.
Cricket? Cricket? You ever done cricket?
I've never done cricket, no. Have you?
Cricket. I just never done it, but I do. I've been to many a match. I throw it out there because it's funny. I always use that as an example, because I didn't grow up playing hockey. I love hockey, but I've never broadcast hockey. And I've always joked, I would actually have played beach cricket or backyard cricket or whatever, just for giggles on the beach or in the park, whatever in Perth. But I wouldn't be able to call hockey because I don't feel like I've never skated with a puck, but I've actually stood there and tried to hit a wicket, so I kind of know that. I mean, I guess I would stumble through it, but I'm with you. I just sort of would. I would just sort of just figure it out, I guess. I mean, it's what you got to do sometimes. And in volleyball, and I had a volleyball situation this year, state ranked volleyball. Actually, they won state 3A title in Texas, and I had to fill in a couple of broadcasts for him. And I honestly, and it's like, and Brad Albert, who's the voice of Cleveland, he just said, "Hey, DV, all you got to say is, by point, just, and if
Yeah, keep it quick.
if you don't know who it is, just make it up." Because they're not. I'm like, okay. I mean, I was really struggling, and I was like, never done that anyway. I volleyball. Maybe we can both do volleyball classes together because I didn't do a very good job. Don't listen to my volleyball demos. What I'm saying to you, you don't want to.
You got it. All right.
There you go. Your style. What kind of style we got? Matter of fact, Ron says sounds like he's got a great radio voice. He does. Do you have a style? Do you have a broadcast style or a work style?
I'm someone that likes to try to find a good balance between meeting the moment, but also connecting with the audience the best I can. We've talked about this before about doing that through storytelling, and I'm so excited to tell the stories of so many guys here that will come through this team this season. Because me, as I've talked about, I like to dive deep into these guys' bios, learn as much as possible. Of course, the conversation we'll have with these guys throughout the year. But storytelling is my baseline. I love telling stories. I love getting to know these players just more than athletes on a baseball field. Like, who are these people as human beings? And then connect that information with our audience listening back at home or on television as well. So that's really where it gets started for me, is that good foundation of good storytelling.
Andrew Della Piana with you here. Dan Vaughn as well in the Explorers Expresso on this 15th of April, about a month away. We'll be doing our thing. Looking forward to adding. Broadcast side, I know you just kind of mentioned, but adding. What are you looking forward to adding to the Explorers this year for you?
For me, it really goes into, I think, the front office side of things. I've done a lot of good stuff back in my previous stops with the Falmouth Commodores and the Rocky Mountain Vibes. but at the same time, it's important to understand that media relations side is too, where you are the face and you are the information provider representing that organization. So you have to do the best ability you can to provide everybody in the community with that right amount of information and that information that is going to be impactful when that team takes the field. Because I think when we look at broadcasting, especially in independent ball, a lot more goes on behind the scenes than just doing the broadcast itself. It's being that extra voice in the community, extra voice in the front office. So doing all those added things to your repertoire only makes you better in the end.
Absolutely. I mean, and I think it's something Chris Brown, a longtime friend of mine, a VP of the league, and I talked about. You just don't open the gates. You just don't turn the mic on. You just don't turn the hot dog
Yeah.
machine on. There's so much that goes in everything we do. Steve Montgomery, our manager, he just doesn't write a lineup card down. There's a lot of work that goes into it. And a matter of fact, he had an agent call him last night when he was talking to me. I mean, there's so much that goes into what we do. And you make a really good point there. Uh, I know, and I don't think we actually talked about this in the interview process, but Sioux City, did you look it up on the map when you saw I'm applying for this job? Did you look it up on the map? What was your thought process? Did you find it? Did you do any research? I mean, just sort of because it's you're a kid from the Northeast. What you
Mm-hmm.
know, Sioux City.
Well, it'll be my first time out in the Midwest, which I'll tell you. I've had some stops out in Colorado, I can mention, and then majority of it coming in the Northeast. So I think I don't know if culture shock is the right word to use, but excited to just get around the area, meet so many people. The only thing, Dan, I am upset about this summer is no beach. That's the thing I'm going to be upset about is no beach time. But everything other than that, I'm very much looking forward to.
Yes, no beach. Well, there is a beach, but it's sort of on the river, and you can go down the river and kind of watch the river go by. I guess there's a beach. I guess up there by the
Does
big
that
city.
count? Is there sand there? Does
But,
that
see,
count?
but here's the deal. I've always said this, and my wife knows this story. I'm not a lake guy. I'm a saltwater guy. So I
Mm.
don't really count the lake being a beach, but I guess it could still be a beach. I guess it's still a beach. I mean, it's not the kind of beach I like.
You give me water, you give me sand, you give me a frisbee and some spike ball. We'll call it a beach. We'll have a good
Here you
time.
go. We'll have to find us a beach there on the Missouri, right there, as we talk with Andrew
Yeah.
Delapiani here on Explorers Expresso. Chris Snito says so many guys come out of school and they sound like they're 12. Andrew has more bass in his voice than we're used to. Well, that's a good thing, and he's all excited about
Yeah.
your voice. Somebody excited your voice. They're all fired up about
Thanks,
that.
Chris.
Yeah, very excited about that. Just looking at what are you fired up about as far as I mean, you're going to be coming to a new place. I mean, do you tick off the boxes of things you've got to do in Iowa? I mean, do you want to see corn? I mean, I'm throwing out random thoughts here, but I mean, I guess you're going to see corn, but anything else you're looking forward to seeing?
For me, it's I like to be where my feet are right now. To be honest, like I think once I get there and kind of establish myself in the community a little bit more, then we'll start doing a little bit more sightseeing. But for right now, just looking forward to getting there and getting started. Really, I think you ask me in a couple of months, I'll definitely give you a better answer than that, though.
Gotcha. And you're going to be working with Moi. Now this is going to be one because this is down the road. You're going to be looking down the road and be saying, "Well, my first job out of college worked with some knucklehead from Texas in Iowa." They're going to be real. You're going to have this like really random experience that hopefully it'll be good textbook stuff to tell a kiddo down the road you're mentoring. Hopefully, I'm hoping that's the case. Hopefully.
Well, well, I think for me, Dan, coming into this league and being with someone right away that has so much experience in this league already can give me such a great foundation. That's honestly what drew me
Yeah.
to coming to Sioux City is when that application came out and I see I get to work with a guy that's called over 1,100 games in the American Association with a bunch of different teams in the mix and has called Sioux City home for the last handful of years. Having that great foundation to start, I mean, you can't ask for anything better to come off of that.
Appreciate you, my friend. By the way, Chris says we need a detailed review from Andrew on Sneaky's. You don't know about Sneaky's yet. You will. Sneaky's Chicken in
Okay.
City. You will. It'll be a very big part. You'll say Sneaky's Chicken at least, well, gosh, twice a game, if not more. Every time we do a scoreboard update, you'll hear the Sneaky's Chicken scoreboard update, and you'll get to know
You
Sneaky
got it.
well. You'll get to know that very well. I'm looking forward to working with you too. Looking forward to it. By the way, and one more little note too. I didn't say earlier. You spent some time in the Pioneer League. Rafael Melchion, our hitting coach, was there. You got a few of the names you've heard of, but
Mhm.
you've done partner ball before. It's a different brand of baseball. Uh, what did you learn the partner ball experience of the Pioneer League that you're looking forward to seeing more of with the association?
I think one of the cool things I definitely learned about, and having going from Pioneer League back to the Cape Cod League the summer before, you kind of get the best of both worlds, if you will, where you're seeing these players that are almost kind of the same sense as like I was also with one of my classmates in Rocky Mountain, and we were kind of in the same boat as these college kids were like, or even at these upper level guys too, where they're trying to find their stride and work their way up, and we almost kind of see that in ourselves too, where you know maybe if it's something like we're undervalued or underappreciated, something like that, we can use these guys' platforms, and it kind of works a two-way street where we're trying to help them and they're trying to help us. At the end of the day, having those connections with those guys and getting to know those people a little bit more, everyone's just trying to make sure they get up to a higher level at the end of the day and try to work their tail off to the best of their abilities. So seeing that at a professional level and a collegiate level going both ways has been stark but interesting at the same time.
Right on your screen is his X account right there. I can follow you right there. Your other social channels, I just put the X account up there, but because he was fired up, I know that. But where else can folks find you? I assume that's your main social.
Yeah, I'm also on YouTube at Andrew Del Piano, also on Instagram at Deli_5. Been breaking more into Facebook a little bit more, trying my best at that, but same thing with LinkedIn, Andrew Del Piano, all on those accounts.
There you go. Yeah, we're looking forward to having him. And again, I will say this, and I may have told him this yesterday. I don't know if I did. We had a chat yesterday or Monday, I guess it was. Uh, he was really fired up when he got the announcement, and I was just amazed at the love he got from so many friends and colleagues and family that were just way to go, way to go. So we picked up a lot of new fans for the Explorers with this edition of Andrew. So I'm fired up. I know you're fired up, and looking forward to having you, mate.
Yeah, this should be so much fun, Dan. Again, thank you so much for this opportunity. I won't make you want to regret it. How about that?
No, how about that? You want it all. I want it all. I'm so fired up. The level of professionalism, I'm so fired up. Hey, we'll see you down the road. We'll see you in a few weeks, and I'll let him go there. And there he is, Andrew Delapiano, right there, joining us from there in Tewksbury, Massachusetts. Let him go there. Appreciate it, mate, as we will shut things down here on Explorers Expresso. Fine young man. And again, he comes from a very, it's not just the school, right? I mean, the school is a big deal. I mean, Syracuse is a big deal. But he also, uh, comes with a level of professionalism that I really looking forward to having. I think it's a professionalism that I think you see from the top to bottom. I think that there's a professionalism and passion, and you can have both. And I think you're seeing that. That's one thing that my goal was with the Explorers was to. Uh, oops, sorry about that. Oops, sorry, I almost lost you guys. Yeah, outstanding pipes, Kenny says absolutely. One of the things I was really fired up about, again, the professionalism, and and I talk about this a lot. It's a passion. We have a passionate fan base, a passionate front office, passionate field staff. It's passion. We know we're not King County with the big ballpark and all that. We know we're not the major market like Chicago. We know that. We don't apologize for it. We don't, it's not an issue. What we do know is we're Sioux City and we're really good at it. What we do is really good. We make the playoffs. We send players on. We send front office folks on. We saw, Tom Backmeyer at AAA Louisville. I don't know if you guys saw that. He's now the general manager of a AAA ball club with the Reds organization in Louisville. I mean, that's what we do. And we also cheer each other along the way. You heard Emma talking about Emily, and you hear all that, right? It's passionate, right? But you're also a level of professionalism that comes with that passion. And we're getting that. And we're getting that big time as, sorry about that, I keep getting this dialogue thing here. Not sure what I'm doing. I'm going to do this, close this down real quickly here. We get the level of professionalism that I really want to see us have, and we got it. And Andrew's going to continue that legacy. We had it with Austin, we had it with John in my little world, and we're going to continue to do that. And I'm so excited to have Andrew with us here coming this season. Now, a couple notes here. Our next show is next Wednesday. There'll be no bonus content today, okay? The show went a little bit longer. We're going to be at an hour and now an hour and change going into it. I'm going to go ahead and hold off the bonus content. I will wrap up the 1894 story the next couple shows. that we'll get to that. Now, coming up this season, I mentioned 1950. We're going to be discussing the 1950 Sioux City Sioux. Some of you folks are going to get messages from me because there's some folks out there that I'd definitely want to bend your ear and find out exactly what you know about Sioux Park and things like that. So stand by for that. We're working on that podcast. You can hit the podcast page right here. There it is on the screen right there. That's the podcast page right there. That's where all of our podcasts are. You can download this show and all the hit download, do it often. And we hope you'll do that. I don't know why I keep getting this reminder on my screen that something's up, but I don't know why it keeps doing this. I did not want to leave the page. Sorry about that, guys. I'm about to get out of here because I'm going to get wind up getting cut off here. My lovely puppy dog, Toffee, who's we're actually helping raise him as he's getting trained to be a service dog. We're fostering him. He actually knocked my computer down yesterday with his big tail, or Monday, and maybe what's doing that. So anyway, okay, all right. Mentioned one more thing too. Jackie Robinson Day is today, and I hope you guys take a moment and not just look at Jackie Robinson's story, but look at how far we've come and how far we still got to go. Larry Doby, a guy we've often don't talk enough about, who was the first player in the American League. And what I think's amazing about this whole story about Jackie, there's a lot about the whole story, but what I think's really interesting about this whole historical side of Jackie Robinson is that, did you know that there was a time in the 1880s, 1890s when the game was integrated? The game began integrated. I mean, the Walker brothers, Adam Fleet Walker is a well-known, the well-known back in the 1880s, 1890s. But the American League, National League shut the door in 1900, actually 1901. And it's not lost on me that we actually began this thing pseudo correctly. It wasn't 100% correct, but we began it. We began the game of baseball open to all. We shut the door, and it took us a long time to open it up again and to get it right. And that always, to me, resonates. And as I've gone and done research, and there's research from 1950, I'm seeing players who, were rookies and young minor leaguers who were still in their 30s, who were Negro League stars, who were forced to go to the minor leagues at 30 years old. There's a lot of that going on. Even by 1950, 3 years after Jackie Robinson, comes to the National League, it was still a game growing integration. So that's not lost on me. And I think it's very important that we look and not just honor the man, because he's a special man, but honor the legacy of moving forward to a society where there was no color barrier in baseball. In a society, there's no color barrier at all. And that's where I go with that. So I look back because what's so crazy to me is that we began baseball as a game for all, shut the door for 50 some odd years, and then we open it up again. And it's like, what are we doing? I find that amazing that that's part of the story. And I encourage everybody to have their own take on it, but it's a great day today, April 15th, number 42, worn by every major league team. And I hope you guys just take a time today to sort of maybe do a quick little Google search and just kind of read a little bit about Jackie and his legacy and what that all means. So, all right, wrapping things up at Explorers Expresso. By the way, they've been doing this since 2004. I believe that was when they started doing the Jackie Robinson Day, and it seems like it's been a lot longer than that, but it's not been long enough. But 2004 in the big leagues, and everybody be wearing number 42. All right, last call, questions, comments. Try to get out of here for you and move along. Don't forget, the podcast will be up shortly. Bonus content, not this week, but next week for sure. So we'll have that for you as well. Don't forget tickets. Don't forget tickets. Let's get that slogan going. Go Axis. Let's do it. Don't forget tickets coming up on Friday. Individual game. Oh, one more thing. Hold on. One more thing. I want to show you guys this. This was sent to me last night. Mongo sent this to me. I want you guys to see this. That is a photo he sent me to the ballpark. It's hard to make out on that photo, but some folks, and you heard Emma talk about it earlier, and Emily as well were involved. But Steve Montgomery, Bobby Post, the entire front office, the baseball family involved in getting the field ready. And look at that field. If you can't really make it out, but those lips and lines, they've done, there's no top dressing on it. The lips there's no put this way, when you see this thing up close, you're going, wow. You can't really make it out, but on the right side, the markings, the way the cut lines are, look at the cut line behind home plate. You can just tell right there it's different. They put a lot of new sod down. It looks great. Tip of the cap, the folks that worked there at the ballpark. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The field looks great. I want to share that with you guys. I don't recall it looking that good in some time. I mean, it's really going into the season, going to be in tip-top shape. And we'll talk more about that with Mongo in the coming weeks. But I want to share that with you guys here before we close things out. And we will move this down as well. Yeah, real grass. Yes, real grass, it's real grass. Let's get the slogan going, Ron says as well. Let's do that. Everybody ready? You guys are ready? I hope you guys are ready. Let me find out my close and open. There we go. There it is. All right, all right. We always talk about this. Let's be better fans tomorrow than we're today. Let's show more love tomorrow than we did today going forward in 2026. For Emma and for Andrew and for everybody back in Sioux City and our entire baseball family, thank you, thank you, thank you for stopping by for 5 minutes or the entire time. The reason I do believe we're the best, we are the best, because you all are the best, the fans of the Sioux City Explorers. Go X this time. Here we go. Everybody ready? Beer leaders, you ready? Robbie, Ron, everybody ready? Even you, Sneedo. You ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Go X's. I'll see you next week, everybody.
Well, it's baseball time in Siouxland once again. The Explorers are out to bring home another win. And when they take the field, they'll be hitting and running and stealing. So come out to the park for that big league good time feeling. Well, it's baseball Sioux City style.